Salam sejahtera Malaysia. Good evening Malaysia. How are you? How have you all been the last 2 weeks? It's been 2 weeks since we had our last show. Let me know where you're coming to us from, where you're watching us. Hello, hello, hello Malaysia. It's been 2 weeks. How are you? Raya is coming soon. How's the festivity coming along? Be good to hear from you. Yes, how are you doing? So what's new with you? It's the Healthy Rojak Season 1, Episode 2 happening today. And we are going to talk about something very, very close to a Malaysian's heart. Food and nutrition. Yeah, we're going to talk about food and nutrition today. Let me know where you're coming to us from. It'll be nice to hear from you. So, yeah, cool, cool. So, a lot of good news we heard about things opening up soon, but we got to be responsible as well. So, uh, looking forward to a new beginning, but let's do it right. Yeah. So let me know once again where you're coming to us from, where you're watching us from. It'll be nice to hear from you. And yeah, so today we're going to talk about food and nutrition. Uh, Food is the main source of energy for our body, right? If we don't eat, we're going to feel weak. We need food because all the organs in our body need food to function. And how they function is the food gives it the energy. It's like fuel. Uh, the other thing is nutrition. With the food we eat, our body kind of extracts this nutrients from the food that the body needs. And different nutrition needs a different amount. It varies from one person to the other, but generally, our body, food and nutrition come hand in hand, and that is the only way for the body to function in an optimal manner. And today we will unpack uh, to see the basics of food and nutrition, the types of food, the importance of food and nutrition, the categories of food, quantity, frequency, types of diet. So that's what we're gonna see. And with us today, we have a medical doctor with well over 14 years of working experience, has experience working in various healthcare settings, both government and private. He specializes in occupational health. He is from the Volgograd State Medical University in Russia. His interest is health, well-being, employee, keeping employees and changing their lifestyle behavior. He works with them. He also asked me to mention he is the husband to a wannabe baker. I'm not sure how that's going to turn out at home later, but yeah, he's a father of a small bunch of kids. He loves trail and he's an ultra runner. And introducing Dr. Faisal Ibrahim here. Hello, doctor. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Edwin.
Good,
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah. Nice to have you on the show. Thank you very much for being with us here today.
Yeah,
Dr. Faisal, how are you? How's life been? Uh, you know, what do you do? How do you do what do you do? Yeah,
yeah. I'm doing great, I guess,
cool,
in
cool.
some way or
That's
another.
good. That's good. That's good.
Um, we are all getting out of the pandemic, as they say,
Yep,
and
yep.
I think in a couple of days we may not be wearing masks in
Correct. It's a
anymore.
choice, right?
Yeah, it's a charge now. So
Yeah,
I mean, the government is getting a bit lax in terms of the SOPs and stuff like that.
right.
So it's good to
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Hopefully, it will bring back the spirits to
Exactly.
everyone.
Hope,
Yeah,
hope
hope
arise
and spirit.
again.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So
That's true. Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing. I know, because the last 2 years has been crazy, and over the last couple of 6 months or so, people are starting to move out, coming out, and although we have a lot to catch up with, but I guess together we will achieve those goals. Dr. Faisal, maybe you could tell us something about yourself that I did not mention. Maybe something you want to share, your passion. What do you like to do? What are you passionate about in your practice?
Well, as you said, I am an occupational health physician
Right.
by trade. I've been practicing in both the government and also private sector. So now I'm in the
Nice.
private sector, and I'm dealing mainly with the workers, employees in manufacturing industries, and
Okay.
so on a day-to-day basis, I do run an outpatient clinic
Okay.
within an industry, and so my day-to-day job is actually taking care of the health of the workers, basically, from bottom up, all level of
Okay.
the people in a particular organization. So that's what I do for living.
Okay.
Uh, so I guess that my in terms of my passion in practice, I would say that I like my aim for my clients or my patients or the workers that I encounter. I would like for them to stay as healthy as possible for as
Right.
long as it can be possibly can,
Yeah.
because for me what I kind of observe, most people, they picture themselves to retire in a happy mode, happy
Right.
retirement mode.
Right.
So part of being happy is actually being healthy.
Well said. Well
So,
said,
yeah.
Dr. Faisal.
So
Yeah.
uh, that's my aim, because I cannot help them in terms of their financial wealth or anything like that, but I can certainly help them in terms of managing their health. So
Yeah.
for me,
Health is wealth,
prevention,
right?
yeah, health is wealth. So you
Yeah.
got that right.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So doctor, maybe we can get into the topic. Maybe you could take us through the importance of food and nutrition in a balance. Why is it so important that we consume food and it the balance that we how we consume them?
Yeah, I think when during the introduction, when you said about food as a source of energy,
Yes.
that is, for me, is spot on, because the main reason why we eat is not to satisfy our palate or tongue, but mainly to energize ourselves.
Right.
So because we do activities on a daily our daily activities, we do a lot of physical work. Even by not doing anything, also our body requires energy. So
Okay.
we actually need energy, and energy comes from food that we take. So another thing that I agree when you say is about the balance.
Yes. Yes.
Balance is
Balance.
very crucial when it comes to energy, because
Right.
our body is a wonderful, complex machine, I would say, because we the body needs a lot of things,
Okay.
that comes
Okay.
from the food that we take.
Right. Right. And,
So
and and there are lots of system functions going on at one
yeah,
time, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Right.
exactly. So there's a lot of functions to maintain, a lot of you know equilibrium to maintain within the body, things like that.
Right.
So in order to maintain and balance all of that, we need various types of nutrition, which comes
Right.
from various source of food,
Okay.
sustain our mechanism of the body.
Right. So the food is one thing. The food is what we eat. The nutrition is the one that the food provides, right?
Yes,
Uh,
yes,
right.
correct.
So and that also helps with the functioning of our body and the bodily functions, right?
Exactly, because
Right.
the every single nutrients, I would say every single
Right.
nutrients would serve a different purpose
Okay.
for the body. So believe it or not, there's no way we can eat one type of food for the rest of our life. Then
Right. Right.
we throw the balance off, you know.
Right.
So
So so so variety
yeah,
is a necessity, and diversity is a strength then, right? Right. So
yes,
like how we are
yes,
all Malaysians, we are different in
exactly.
races, but together we are strong, right?
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes,
Yeah. So that's the same way
exactly.
with
You're right.
how we eat in our body. With the types of
Uh-uh.
food we eat, we need to have that balance so that the body functions at optimum, right?
Yes, correct.
How about the types, the food, the categories of different food and nutrients that come with it, doctor? Maybe you can share with us on that.
All right. So there are various ways to categorize food, basically. But I
Okay.
think the more common method that commonly used method that we always use is we divide them by the nutrients. The
Okay.
nutrients is the size of the nutrients. When it's big molecules, we call it macronutrients. When it's small
Okay.
molecules, we call it micronutrients. So
Okay.
these two main big categories.
Okay.
After that, we go by one through macronutrients. The main um, types of macronutrients are the carbohydrates,
Okay.
your protein,
Right.
your fats, and
Okay.
your fibers. All right. And I'm just going through the overall picture first, and then we try
Sure.
to go
Sure.
one by one.
Let's
Yeah,
understand it as
it's a
a
whole
eagle's
first.
eye
Yeah.
view. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Betul.
And then coming to the micronutrients, the small molecules. Then we have the vitamins, the minerals to the bodies, things
Right.
like that. All right.
Right.
So going back to the macronutrients, we will start with carbohydrate. Okay.
Okay.
Carbs, maybe in bahasa they call it like kanji, things like that.
Right. Betul.
So
Yeah.
the in our cultural society, or in our country lah, basically,
Yeah.
country.
Kat Malaysia.
So
Yeah.
yeah, Malaysia.
Yeah.
So carbs is mainly, people will, I think most people would definitely straightforward think about rice lah, nasi kan.
Yes. Correct.
So yeah, so rice, all sorts of rice lah, it doesn't matter. Brown rice, white rice, basmati,
Right.
whatever lah, jasmine ke apa, beras
Semua
wangi
ada
ke
lah.
apa kan.
Dan itu carb lah.
Semua ada lah. So
Ah,
yeah. So and then you go to your noodles, mee,
right. Right.
and including bihun, you know,
Right.
kway teow, you know,
Okay.
mee kuning, spaghetti, you name it,
Right.
we got it all. So all these are considered carbohydrates,
Okay.
and others such as bread lah, roti,
Roti.
also
Yeah.
uh, uh,
That's what we have every day.
yeah.
Yeah.
So but when we talk about carbohydrate, these things are the
Yes.
famous ones,
Okay.
uh, but not many people talk about source of carbohydrate in a different from the different source,
What do you
from
mean
like,
by
for
that?
example, we can also get carbohydrates from fruits, actually.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So fruits. So the thing about food, nutrients and micronutrients is there's no
Yes.
one single type of food which has only one thing, one
Ah,
ingredient,
okay.
one
Okay.
macro or one macronutrients. So you
Understand.
got, let's say I said just now, the first example I gave was rice.
Yeah.
uh, it's not like rice only has carbohydrate. Rice also has other things, a little bit of fiber,
Right.
and they got a bit of protein as well, some fats in it, they
So
got
it's
also
wholesome in the
micronutrients.
sense.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, but when it comes to different type of food, the proportion of this
Right.
stuff is different. So when we say example of carbohydrate, it means that in this type of food, the carbohydrate is has the largest proportion inside it. So that's what we mean, you know.
Oh,
Plus, some
okay.
more, if
Understand.
if you go to the food that we actually eat, like for example, I give you example, the name of the show, Healthy Rojak.
Yeah.
There's no way,
Healthy.
there's no way Rojak got only one thing. Rojak is everything lah,
Rojak.
inside
Yeah.
that. so,
Correct.
yeah,
Correct.
so um, that's the thing about the food lah, because you got a lot of things inside it. So you have to know the proportion. When we
Right.
say uh, the example, it means that the largest proportion is coming from that, but
Okay.
it doesn't mean that it doesn't have the other things. It also have
Any other
other things.
things? Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
So
even
going
though
to
you're only on rice, I mean
mm,
rice. Some people have rice. Uh,
mm,
that rice is actually sufficient, but not all that sufficient. That's what
yeah,
you're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Right.
All right,
Okay.
you're correct. So basically, carbs we need it for energy lah, energy source.
Okay.
Uh, the main energy source is carbs lah. So
Yeah.
if you do physical activity or exercise, doesn't matter lah, exercise or not exercise, you go gardening ke, you main rumput ke apa, and you penat,
Yeah.
then
Betul.
you sometimes you want air manis lah, you
Ah.
drink 100 plus or things like that.
Yeah. Betul.
Yes, it's water, but actually the inside that also got carbohydrates, which is sugar.
All
So
right.
sugar is also a source of carbs. Uh,
Okay.
all right. So
So either way, we are going to be whacked by carbs.
yeah, you cannot avoid it. It's just that
Yeah.
when if you are going to choose,
Right.
the best source of carbs is from plant. You
Plant
choose
based.
carbs from plant-based food, uh, and then those that are whole food,
Okay.
um,
What do you
rather
mean?
than processed one. Rather than processed
Ah.
one, we
Okay.
have whole
No
food
process.
and processed food. So
Betul.
processed is the sugar, you know.
Yeah.
Um, it's just that when I encounter people on my daily practice, when I
Right.
say sugar and then I say fruits, they will automatically say fruits also got sugar. The difference
Right.
is, yeah, because it's sweet, you know.
Yes.
So sweet
Yes.
means got sugar lah, kan? The
Yeah.
logic behind it. But
Betul.
the difference is actually the sugar that is the so-called sugar that is contained inside that fruits is
Right.
actually natural sugar. We call it glucose lah, natural glucose. So the
Okay.
difference between this natural glucose and the sugar gula pasir that you letak dalam air apa semua tu,
Uh-huh.
the difference is that sugar that we use is actually, we call it refined sugar. So which has
Yes.
been processed, you know,
Right.
it's under process. So that is, I'm not demonizing sugar,
Right.
but if you compare between types of sugar, then the one from the natural source is better lah,
Better.
rather than the
Better.
processed one, of
I
course.
mean,
In
even
terms of
even if you talk about sugar, some people say it's better to eat the fruits than to juice the fruits and drink it. So
Yes,
what
correct. You're right.
what's your take
Yeah.
on, yeah? So
It-
I mean, how does that? I mean, we are talking, since we are talking about sugar, maybe you
yeah.
can explain about the difference there.
It's good that you asked that question because when it comes to food, whatever the sauce is, you go as natural as it can be. So like you
Right.
give example, probably apple lah. We go by apple lah. We go apple
Okay.
as the
Apple.
fruit apple, and then you got apple juice. You know the one
Yes.
that you buy in the supermarket inside the
Kota tu.
kotak tu kan, kotak tu
Uh,
that one.
uh,
Alright. Okay. So that apple juice has been processed. The the
okay.
the the fruit that you eat is a natural one, you know. So
Okay.
it has not gone any process yet. You know,
Okay.
basically from that tree you pluck that, you wash a little bit, then you eat straight away.
Makan.
You
Right.
tak masak, you tak masak
Ya,
apa pun.
betul. Betul.
You tak masak.
Betul.
So there's
Makan
no
terus je.
yeah, no what cooking process or chemical process
Yeah.
involved, you know. So you go natural is better.
But
Once
how
it has
about the
undergone
juice? Like, for example, you the pressed juice. You know, you
that
got this pressed juice,
okay,
and
yeah. If it's
yeah.
a freshly made juice, you know, it all goes back to comparison. You know,
Okay.
the most ideal one is the fresh
Fruit.
fruit. Okay,
Okay.
so the next, if you are going to drink it, then it will be
Yeah.
better if you make a fresh juice out of it rather than you go buy so-called fresh juice in the supermarket. uh,
I guess in Malaysia that is very common.
you know, so
Yeah.
that's how you choose lah, you know, in terms
Okay.
of
Okay. So we got the
the
fruit
hierarchy
first,
lah.
then the then you choose the fruit,
Yeah,
then you
yeah,
finally it's off the on the shelf kind of a thing.
yeah.
Right. Right.
Mm-mm.
So
All
that's on
right.
sugar. So we've done
Then on
carb.
sugar,
What else?
carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Then next big thing is protein. Um,
Okay.
so protein is in some way also a source of energy.
Okay.
However, protein helps in other process inside the body. Like
Okay.
the best example is to build up your muscle. You know,
Right.
your muscular mass. We call it muscular mass.
Right. Right.
So you eat it for muscular mass. You eat protein to you know, help in terms of recovering from injury. You know,
Okay.
so you need this protein. So what are the source of protein? So of course, naturally, people would go with meat, chicken, you know,
Right.
eggs,
Yeah.
fish, and things like
Correct.
that. It's all right, correct, not an issue.
Hmm.
Again, I would emphasize on the need to go based on the source, you know,
Okay.
plant versus animal. So
Okay.
always, if you want to choose which one is better in terms of which one is better, of
Right.
course, plant based would be better in terms of the the holistic point of view,
Right. Okay.
because sometimes uh, plant-based protein. Okay,
Protein.
example of plant-based protein, you know, kacang lah, the most
Yeah.
simple
Okay.
one lah. Yeah,
Okay.
so kacang is plant-based protein products, you know.
Okay.
So why is it better than
Meat base.
meat-based? Because very rarely we eat meat fresh, isn't it? We don't eat
Yeah.
in the
Of course,
flesh.
we cook it.
Cook it.
Yeah.
So
I don't think anybody eats fresh. Meat that way.
so horrifying lah.
Yeah.
So
Scary.
when you cook it, then that is a process. Cooking is a process, and
Okay.
then we, especially in Malaysia, we are very creative in terms of cooking.
Right.
uh, because we got all sorts of meals and dishes that can
Right.
come out from the simple products. So
Correct.
again, I'm not saying that they are all bad and things like that. Whatever that we eat in moderation, it should be okay. You know,
So I guess
it's
the
just that
key there is moderation.
moderation, of course, lah. And
Yeah, yeah,
but I think that is another part that we can discuss later on in terms
sure,
of frequency,
sure.
things like that.
Right.
But I think I just want to emphasize where it comes to choosing which one is better. I'm just saying which one
Okay.
is better, just to educate
Right.
people.
Okay.
Not
Sure.
necessarily you will drink. You will take just nuts all the way. You might need your fish or chicken once
Yeah.
in a while. Should be okay lah. All right.
Correct.
And
Correct.
after that we got what else? We got fat lah.
Okay.
Lemak.
Lemak.
So lemak is a necessity because it's also a source of energy.
Energy.
It's
Yes.
just that the way our body process energy. If you are doing some physical activity like maybe
Right.
exercise, you're
Okay.
sweating or you're tired, things like that. You're feeling
Okay.
very lethargic and tired. So
Yes.
you want quick energy. Of course, the quick one will come from like fruits. They will give
Okay.
the
Immediate.
energy in immediately.
Yeah.
The energy that comes from fat will come a bit later. I will
Okay.
yeah. So that's the kind of the difference lah. So
So, doctor, when you say fats, right? When you say fats, right?
uh, uh,
Lemak, right?
mm,
It's not that it's a very bad thing,
it's
correct?
not, yeah, it's not
Yeah.
really bad
But I
thing.
think the
Again,
perception is that it's very bad. So a lot of people totally cut
oh
it off or something like that sometimes, right?
yeah, uh-uh.
Yeah.
But we tend to demonize some type of foods too much sometimes. I think.
Understand. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so the key is always moderation and
Okay.
the source that we are taking the food from.
Okay.
When it comes to fats, they are healthy fats. Not necessarily all fats are bad.
True.
Again, healthy fats normally comes from plant based. So the theme of the day is plant based product. So
Okay.
plant based product.
Not
I'm not
necessarily all
asking.
go vegan now or something, right?
Yeah, I don't think Malaysia can go vegan.
And I mean, I don't think anybody can go all 100%. I mean, there are people who are vegan,
Yeah,
and it's a
yeah,
choice. But
it's
I
a choice.
think yeah. But I think where we come from, I mean, within Malaysia setting,
It
uh,
will be very
it,
difficult.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But not impossible. But yeah,
Not impossible. Yeah, there are those
yeah.
who kind of
Correct,
made it, but
correct.
maybe
Yeah,
not for everybody, lah.
yeah. Probably we
So
could get a vegan on the show next time.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-uh,
We could have a dialogue about this.
uh-uh, uh-uh.
Yeah,
So again, coming back to fats,
sure.
not all fats are bad. They are healthy fats. And then when choosing fats, the form of fats kind of play a role as well. You see fats in a solid form and fats in a liquid form. Liquid
Okay,
forms are better, you know. So
okay.
where like minyak masak. So minyak masak
Ah,
is better.
okay,
Probably cheese is not 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 better than minyak lah, in terms of fats content.
oh,
The 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 the
okay,
the the the, the, the I'm talking about fats solely lah. Okay, alright.
okay. I learned something new
So
today.
so fats in a solid form is not really great. Uh,
Okay,
Fat in a liquid form is better compared to that lah. Of course, you
okay.
don't tuang minyak banyak-banyak lah nanti.
Betul,
That is
betul.
not good lah.
Tapi,
you know?
it's a common sight in Malaysia though,
Yeah.
kan? Kita
Uh-uh.
when we go to buy the laut semua tu ada
Yeah,
minyak
yeah,
from.
that pool of
Yeah, yeah.
oil
Yeah,
kan.
but that sells, right? I mean, that sells. I mean, you look at it, also you want to eat, kind of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So again, maybe one last thing about fat is the one fat that you have to avoid is trans fat.
okay.
So trans
How do what what's that?
Trans fat commonly inside processed foods.
Okay.
So I'll give example of burger or sausage,
Okay.
things like that. Not from what I know how burgers patties are made. You know,
Right.
uh, they are not solely meat. They are actually meat and some other internal organs as well, in which
Okay.
most of the time that's how it is made lah.
Okay. Okay.
So internal organ plus that they kind of go undergo process things like that. So all these
Right.
chemical process will
Right.
eventually lead to the trans fat to become present inside uh, the the
Food.
the food.
Oh, the pet. All right. Okay.
So basically, processed food. Don't just think about um, burgers and sausage. You can think about your jajan. Keropok.
Right. Kerupuk.
Uh, I cannot. I don't think I want to say brands lah, but keropok lah.
Yeah.
So
I
nanti
mean,
kena ban pula.
betul lah. I mean, yang penting tu is moderation lah, like you said in the
The
beginning,
penting is
right?
moderation. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you take
So,
you take keropok sikit-sikit from your children a little bit, and then
yeah.
you might a bit, then maybe not.
I mean, you got a bunch of them, so I'm sure you share.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
betul
So,
lah. Alright. So and
yeah,
then
I see.
the next big group is micronutrient. So
Okay.
micronutrient, you know lah, vitamins, your minerals. That's why normally they are present inside the vegetables.
Okay.
Fruits,
Fruits.
seeds. Seeds, flax
Okay.
seeds or whatever, and then
Right.
legumes.
Yes.
They
Yes.
kind of rich of those things.
Ah,
So what I
okay.
like about legumes, seeds, and all this kacang,
Yeah,
because
betul.
they are compact. They're compact.
Ah,
They compact, and they provide multiple nutrients inside it,
right.
and it makes you full. Kenyang.
Okay.
It make you full, kenyang, and that fullness can hold for a
Last.
long time, last for a
Ah,
long time.
okay. Right.
So you are not hungry, so you are not eating all the time. The thing
Okay.
is,
So it's good to
how
snack on nuts.
nuts is good. Yeah, still don't go overboard.
Ah,
The
yes.
choice of nuts is also important.
Okay.
If one to choose the roasted one lah, rather than the one that has been, ada salut madu lah, and then ada
Betul.
garam lah, whatever.
Betul.
So all of that is make it less less how do you say uh,
Nutritious.
less nutritious. Yeah, you're right.
Right. Right. Right.
Uh,
Right.
so
So, my fellow Malaysians, I think if y'all have been watching this and it is informative for you, share this now, because uh, what we want to do here is help you understand the basics of food and nutrition. uh, Only when we know the basics can we start leveling up, and it's a way of moving forward from where we've been in the last couple of years. Yeah. So, Dr. Faisal, how about I mean, we spoke about the types and different types of food, and micronutrients and all.
mm.
uh these are the categories of the food, but the types of food are they the same, or
uh,
is
that's
there
why
something
I
that
think it would be more or less how you
similar?
want to categorize it in terms of type of food.
Okay.
Like I said just now, there are many ways how you want to categorize it. So
Sure.
I think that is categorizing it,
Organization.
in,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Understand.
macro versus micro, and
Right.
then
Right.
we have covered plant-based versus whole food versus processed food,
Understand. Yeah. Yeah.
and then what else we can categorize them? Probably in terms of uh, the how do you call it? We categorize it based on the how it's being
Process.
prepared lah,
Prepared.
prepared.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Maybe then you can
yeah,
share with us on the quantity and the frequency. I mean, in
yeah,
Malaysia, I mean, we can eat. I mean, we've got places open 24/7. And we love food. Malaysia is
yeah,
about
yeah.
food. I mean,
Uh,
kita semua we
yeah, you're
all
right.
love food. I mean, it's impossible to find a Malaysian who does not love food. I mean, there's
Yeah,
always some sort of dish that either your family prepares or the community prepares that is something that you take with you. And
uh,
how do we know, or how do we do this uh, quantity or balance of food that we need to eat, and the frequency. I mean,
mm,
some depending on I mean, you work in a setting where you meet workers, laborers, right? So
mm,
they do hard work, so they're probably going to get hungry faster or something like that. How about
yeah,
compared to the one who is working in the office, on
mm,
a sedentary kind of a lifestyle work
all right.
environment? How do we do all this? I mean, we in Malaysia lah. Let's take it on a Malaysian
Uh,
context. Yeah, yeah,
so yeah, you're right. Malaysia is a food heaven,
yeah.
so we got all sorts of food. Even other people food also we claim is ours. so so it's like that lah. So it's okay lah,
That's true.
kan? Not an
Yeah,
issue. But how do you know how much is you have to take, how little you
right.
should go? Sometimes this type of question is very personalized because you have to see the requirement of that particular person. But since
True.
this is a public show, so perhaps
General
we can
rule.
try to make a general rule.
Yeah.
So the rule is generally when we talk about how much you should eat is how much energy do you need actually, you know.
Okay.
So how much energy do you need? Let's say in a day, you know, how
Okay.
much energy do you need in a day? So in scientific terms, we call it calories lah.
Okay.
Calories is the energy inside food, the
Yeah.
amount of energy inside food, and generally a guy needs energy much more than female woman,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
a lady, and that's one. And then you go by sometimes we go by the physical size of the body. Those
Okay.
who are taller and have bigger weight, probably they need slightly more energy in terms
Okay.
of energy requirement per day compared
Okay.
to the smaller person.
Okay.
Uh, so
Understand.
uh, so normally, if I'm going to give numbers, for example,
Okay.
for a young guy, I mean normal adults lah, range
Okay.
from maybe around 20 to 40 or 50 years old.
Okay.
So the amount of energy per day that your body needs for a guy is around maybe 1,008 to 2,200 kilocalories per day.
Okay.
And then for a lady, maybe it's slightly less than that,
We're
around
talking about the
1,006.
same age, right? The same age
Yeah,
group,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
similar comparison. Yeah. So about
Okay.
1,006 to 1,008.
Okay.
So how much do you need to eat is that amount lah.
All right.
You have
All right.
to the amount of energy that you need is actually around 1,800 per day.
Okay.
how do
Okay.
you know how much is 1008?
Yeah.
That is the quite a technical question,
I see.
because then
Okay.
we need to know there are some food which is very high in calorie, so we call it calorie
Okay.
dense food. Some food looks a lot, but the
What would the
calorie is
example be, doctor? I mean,
all
for
right.
caloric
So
dense food.
uh, so I would go with probably you go with your lunch meal lah. Normally
Okay.
when you lunch, you take a plate of rice with
Okay.
some maybe ayam, and then
Uh-huh.
those who eat sayur, dia ambil sayur lah. Sometimes
I
people
think
just
everybody should eat sayur kan.
yeah, balance
But that's the
balance.
last thing they'll go for.
Yeah.
Normally,
So
it's the chicken and all that to go for first.
so depending on the amount of rice, nasi yang you letak tu. So
Okay.
let's say just normal lah,
Okay.
Even when you say normal, for some people normal is not like this. Dia bagi normal dia macam ni.
Betul.
Yeah, so people different lah. But then we
Yeah.
we just go like you imagine normal. So
General rule lah. We go with the
yeah,
general rule.
general rule
Yeah.
probably that will cost you around 500 calories, kilocalories.
Okay.
1 meal, 5 to 700 lah, around that,
Okay. All right.
Of course, rice has the calories is much more than other things.
Sure.
If you go by type of food that we just discussed just now, normally
Yes.
carbs has higher calories,
Calories.
that because they have the biggest energy proportion, and all the others have kind of less compared to them in terms of the content of calories.
Calories. Understand.
If you want, just to guide our viewers, if
Yes.
you are wondering how to uh, see
Measure.
calories, actually, if you
Yeah.
buy food, you can turn it at the backside. There's a
Yeah.
calorie is stated there. Sometimes it's at the front,
Yes.
sometimes at the back.
Yes.
Is that
Correct.
if you have done it often, you will notice that sometimes they give it in 100 gram, how many
Yes. Correct.
calories, but the product is probably not 100 gram. The product is probably sometimes 25,
Right.
depending on what you are buying lah.
Correct. So we
So you
proportion.
have to calculate as well lah.
Right.
All
Right.
right. So in terms of frequency, I would say that of course we Malaysian tends to eat too frequent. Uh, for my liking, I would say that if those who are working like doing normal daily activities, you only need around
Yeah.
1,008 to 2,000. Probably you just eat 2 or 3 times should be okay lah.
Okay.
Because 2 or 3 times
We're
per day
talking
should
about
be okay.
a substantial amount of
Yeah,
food, like 2 or 3
yeah,
times.
yeah.
Kan?
Uh,
Ah.
the main meal probably one or two or three, two times for me lah. Personally, I would say two
Yeah.
times is okay. You don't
Right.
have to go 3 times. Pagi, petang, malam nak makan juga. Probably you choose when you want to eat. Put your priority lah.
Right.
Some people they have to take breakfast. Then you take breakfast.
Okay.
Probably take your lunch and try not to eat too much
Oh,
during your dinner.
okay.
Try to adjust those kind of things lah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we got to plan accordingly. I guess. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
according to your
You have to
activity,
plan.
your daily activity would be your benchmark to know when you really
Of
need
course.
the energy, and so for those who are working normal day kind of a thing, your breakfast and lunch is very important, I guess. Then
Yes.
for those who
You're
work shifts,
you're
then
more active, then probably you need more energy. Probably you need to eat a little bit more lah.
yeah, correct.
But then
How
also
about
you
types
have
of
to be
diet?
careful.
Yeah, sorry.
Type of diet, yeah.
Yeah. No, you were
So
saying
if
something. Sorry, doctor. I
oh
cut you
yeah,
off. Yeah.
I was saying that those who feel that they are active, sometimes they
Yeah.
want to eat more. Just be careful about that, because that more that you think you need, you tend to go overboard lah. You tend to
Okay.
macam kena makan lebih ni, hari ni nak buat benda ni kan, makan banyak-banyak kan. So,
Betul betul.
so banyak tu dah jadi dah lebih sangat
Yeah.
lah.
Yalah.
You just
So
alasan je sebenarnya.
betul. If you eat more, the problem is you might be too, groggy, or you become too
Yeah.
fatigued, tired, or
At the end
sleepy.
of the day, you just sleep lah.
Imagine go have banana leaf. You have banana leaf, and then you go back to work on a after lunch. I think
Yeah.
it's that's like crazy, scary stuff because you're probably going to sleep off. So
Yes.
yeah, it depends also the type of activity that you're going to be involved in the day, and that would determine the type of food you need to get the required energy.
Yes. Correct.
Okay. And diets. I mean, the various
Yeah,
types of
that is.
diets these days, right? You've got keto,
Mm-mm.
and you've got intermittent fasting. There's just
Yeah.
a lot of things.
So,
But how do we know whether it is something that we need to do, or is there something that we need to do in order to always get back the balance?
uh,
In your
in terms
opinion,
in terms of diet, first of all, you have to look at why you want to do diet. People have different goal when they are dieting. Not
right?
everyone diets because they want to lose weight.
True.
Sometimes they are dieting because they want to reduce their blood sugar,
Right.
reduce their cholesterol, try to control their blood pressure level, you know.
Yes.
So not everyone want to lose weight.
Yeah.
So it depends on your aim.
Okay.
And when it comes to choosing, one is depending on your aim. Let's say lah, the when we talk about diet, for most people, the main reason would be weight loss lah, kan? Weight loss or
Yeah.
fitness or
Correct.
things like that.
I mean, these are
So when it comes to
common,
the common
common
one
one.
lah, common one,
Yeah.
depending on our viewers, then
Yeah.
probably if they are young adults, not having any medical problems,
Right.
probably they are looking to lose weight, gain their fitness and things like that.
Right.
So when it comes to choosing what kind of diet that will suit you,
Right.
I personally have no idea because there are too many of them. What
Right.
I would normally ask my client is, what have you tried? What have
Right.
failed? Why it is failing? And sometimes, even in my personal experience, it's a try and error. Try and error.
Right. Right.
Unfortunately, I cannot
Right.
give a very good answer, but
Yeah.
try
It's
and
not a
error.
one size fits all. It's not a one
Yeah, it's
size
not
fits
one
all.
size fits all. You just
Yeah.
have to see it. You can judge it by reading about it and then try to
Okay.
evaluate, will it suit
Okay.
your lifestyle. I mean, your what you like, because
Yeah.
sometimes some types of diet, like maybe we said just now, vegan diet, vegan.
Yeah.
Yes, those who go vegan, they have to go purely plant-based, no meat, no
Yes.
nothing. Even if the strict vegan, they don't even take egg.
Egg. Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
you see what you want to sacrifice lah. If
Exactly.
you like your meat raw, or I mean medium rare or whatever, then probably vegan is not for you lah.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. So I guess the most important thing is to know why you're getting into that diet in the first
why you
place.
are getting into the diet, your main
Yeah.
goal, and
Yeah.
you might want to get a bit of personalized advice when it comes
Okay.
to choosing your diet and how to
Right.
go about it.
Yeah.
You mentioned just now about intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
One comment that I would say about intermittent fasting, because it's trending,
Yeah.
I don't think it is a diet. It is actually some way to control the frequency of your eating. You can
Okay.
practically, if you understand the concept of intermittent fasting, is
Okay.
actually there's a eating window and fasting window.
Yes.
During your eating window, you if you go by the actual concept of intermittent fasting.
Okay. I think we lost
So,
you for a while, doctor.
sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
can you get me now?
You was talking about, yeah.
Okay. So I was talking about intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
So intermittent fasting, of course, because it actually not a type of diet, because diet for me is those things that try to control what you eat and what you
Eat.
don't eat. You know, the type
Okay.
of food that you take. You know,
Okay.
by intermittent fasting, it just control the frequency of eating and the timing of eating.
Ah,
That's all. But it works lah.
okay.
It can work if you follow the principle. Probably it work, but
Ah,
it is not really. You normally people couple intermittent fasting with other types of diet. So that's why you always see those who do intermittent fasting, they try paleo diet lah, they try keto
right.
diet. You know, keto diet
Right.
always goes well with
Intermittent
intermittent
fasting.
fasting. So
Okay.
intermittent fasting is just trying to control the frequency and the timing of your eating.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-mm.
So you still eat what you want.
You still eat what you want, but you
Yeah.
don't go overboard lah.
Right.
You
Right.
don't eat too
Right.
much lah. Uh-uh.
Right. That's very informative. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Faisal. We are coming to a tail end of our show. Uh, I hope to our listeners that you were given very good information today. That it was very fruitful for you. Dr. Faisal, since it's going to be Raya soon, what would your advice be? I mean, since we are talking about food and nutrition, uh, what would you what would your advice be for all of us Malaysians who are going to be in a festive mood in the
Uh,
next couple of days, right? And it's
mm,
going to it's something that we are all looking forward to. It's a long break. Everybody is just going out with their family and friends and with Raya and all, it's going to be a lot of celebration happening.
yeah.
How do we be mindful in our eating? At the same time, enjoy the various types of food and delicacies that are going to be prepared and served at all these houses. I mean, we are Malaysians, we love to eat, but how do we mindfully do this?
Mm.
You know, yeah. Your words of
I
wisdom, doctor.
uh, I also personally think that of course it will be very difficult for everybody because it's been 2 years without Raya Festival. So
Right.
celebrating Raya. So of course everyone wants to enjoy companies of others, you know, visiting
Yes.
people, stuff like that. So naturally you will definitely eat at other people's places or house. So how do you be mindful about it? Try not to. You may want to try a lot of things, you know. So just take bit by bit lah, you know. Try to
Right.
control that. If you are that kind of person who can do that, then probably do that.
Right.
One thing that I think we do not emphasize so much today is about water lah. You know,
Ah, yes.
water is so important. If you are going to eat at other people's house, probably just ask for plain water lah. You know, you sacrifice your soda or syrup ke whatever, and then
Right.
you drink water lah. Yeah, because
Right.
if you drink enough water,
Mm-hmm.
your stomach perut you akan rasa kenyang sikit. So you tak
Ah,
makan banyak.
okay.
So it kind
Ah,
of a trick
okay.
as well lah. Uh,
It's a hack.
and
It's
then
a hack.
it's a hack. For
Yeah.
the Muslim viewers, I would say that you all have been fasting for a month. So especially during the first few days, the first 2 or 3 days, the morning time, you know, the breakfast, to try not to divulge on so many foods lah, because you know nanti you punya perut you terkejut tau. So
Yeah, betul. Tiba-tiba.
so pagi-pagi dah makan kan,
Incoming,
tiba-tiba you
incoming.
makan semua benda. And then try not to
Betul.
eat carbs too much lah. Carbs makes you feel bloated lah actually. At least for me, it
Ah,
makes me feel bloated. So
okay.
uh,
So how about, I mean, I'm sure, I mean, with all that eatings are going to happen, let's assume there's going to be like maybe indigestion or bloating, like you said.
Yeah.
What can they do? I mean, should they encounter any of this uneasy
Well,
instances?
if it happens while you are eating, then you will have to stop eating lah.
Right.
Probably that's the call for you to
True.
stop lah.
That's your body saying, "Okay, we are done for the day," kind of a thing.
Just go and
Yeah.
rest. But then on a more serious note, if you are the kind of person who have been having troubles with your indigestion or things like that, probably you have to be very mindful. Remember that you don't try not to eat too much. Uh, Sometimes when it comes to visiting people, pergi rumah orang sini, rumah orang sana,
Yeah,
yang
betul.
lama kita dah tak pergi kan. Sometimes like for families, this auntie cook this thing so good lah. Dia masak, maybe auntie ni masak mi kari dia paling sedap sekali.
Uh,
So you target nak pergi makan mi kari tu. So maybe rumah yang sebelum tu you jangan makan banyak sangat kan. So you dah
betul.
target dekat situ. So probably planning is your priority lah, which one you nak makan yang lebih
So
sikit.
masa raya kita kena plan juga.
Kena
Makan
plan
apa kat
jugalah
mana?
unfortunately.
Makan apa kat mana?
Ah,
Yeah, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, yeah. So, thank you so much for your time, Doctor. It was truly informative. It really I guess we now know at least the basics. So my fellow
yeah,
Malaysian brothers and sisters, what we want to do here is get you to understand the basics, because when we know the basics, then at least we know how to make informed decisions. As we move forward with the show, we would love to also journey with you in this process, and you know uh, the doctors that come in and talk on the show, they really want to see you live a good and healthy life, and all this is only done when you make the right choices. Memang kita boleh give you the information, but the final choice is yours. So
yeah,
what we hope to do here is kita nak tolong you buat pilihan yang bijak lah.
yeah.
Yeah. So we hope that this will this is one of the many. We have a lot of good stuff coming in the future episodes. We now the Healthy Roja would like to thank Dr. Faisal for his time. We also like to thank his family for allowing him to sit here with us for an hour. We want to thank his wife and children. Thank you for loaning us your husband and your father for us, and he was very good. So thank you very much. Uh, so once again, thank you, Malaysia. We have more good stuff coming. We have more people coming onto the show to talk about this. Like, share, and follow for those of you who are here. We also want to know what you think and what topics you think that you want to know, you want to learn. And the idea of the Healthy Roja is think local. Think local. Itu sebab nama show ni The Healthy Roja, because we want to grow together. We want to grow together as Malaysians. Once again, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for watching us. Thank you, Dr. Faisal. Do you have something for us last, to seal the deal?
Just thank you, Edwin, for inviting me today.
Thank you.
It's been a great pleasure being part of Healthy Rojak. So to my fellow Malaysians, happy celebrating Raya. Safe trip back home, and safe trip back home again, and
Yeah.
enjoy your festival with your families and friends.
Yes. Yes. So Malaysia, thank you very much. Selamat Hari Raya and selamat malam. Goodbye. See you.
Bye.